Hello everyone, RetroIndieGamer here for a review of a game called 3D WorldRunner, or 3D Battle of WorldRunner. Honestly, I don't know why it has two names, but oh well. I guess it's like some of the early NES games like Gyromite, which also had two different names on the cartridge and the title screen. That's only because the NES version was made basically using the components for a Famicom cartridge, with a converter thrown in. Anyway, this is about WorldRunner, not Gyromite. Now, let's see, how's this game? Basically, it's this game that's in a 3D environment, which is, I guess, sort of, which is pretty ambitious for the NES. Yeah, actually, there were a bunch of 3D style games of the day, back in the day for NES. Like this, and I think another one was, that was also like this was 720. Ooh, I got some sort of balloon thing. I think this leads to a bonus stage, where I collect stars. Run around and collect stars. You know, this kind of reminds me of the minigame that would later show up in Sonic 3D Blast. No, not Sonic 3D Blast. Sonic and Knuckles and Sonic as well, and Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles. So anyway, the controls of this game are pretty simple. You press the up key arrow to jump, and you press B to run it to basically speed up, and you press A to jump. Yeah, and you run around collecting all. I think you're supposed to collect all these stars, or at least run through and get to the next world, while avoiding lobbies, enemies with smiley faces like like those green things and the fireballs. You're also avoiding the fire sticks and a bunch of green pillars. Let's see, how do graphics look? The 3D effect actually turned out pretty nice on NES. Then again, so a lot of 3D experiments on these older consoles. It means this is not the first console that had semi-3D games like this. Maybe Atari 2600 had Battlezone, which is semi-3D. And that was basically a port of Atari's arcade game Battlezone, but that's going to be in Battlezone's view. I really need to remember to review that one. Anyway, like I said, this game was made in I don't know if I mentioned that yet, but this game was made and was released in 1987 by Square. Yeah, this is before they made games like this is before they started focusing on RPGs like Final Fantasy. Yeah, back in the day, Square had a lot of really interesting games. This is one of them, and I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with one of Square's. I think some of you are probably familiar with one of Square's other pre-Final Fantasy releases. A little racing game on the NES called Rad Racer. Actually, I think they made both Rad Racers, though I have not tried the second one yet. And I'm sure, and probably will at one point, anyway. You know, actually, it's not surprising, since this game and its interface is actually very similar to Rad Racer. Ah, damn it! Die. Because Red Racer also had a semi-3D environment. And I can see, and well, and you might be surprised for a lot of younger gamers, a lot of my younger viewers to know that 3D has actually been around in video games for years. Like I said, as far back as the 70s with games that use wireframes like Battlezone. But 3D was expensive back then, and in fact, I'd say it still is. It's also a real pain in the ass to work with. I should know. I took a shot at it first semester. Not going back there again. Yeah, 2D for the win. 3D, no. It's a real obnoxious to work with. It's hard to get what you want. That's why if anyone's really good at 3D, I salute you. I know how difficult it is and how frustrating it is. And well, it's not for everyone. Not to mention the software is expensive hell and really hard on your computer. Anyway, as you can probably see, the visuals definitely very nice. However, aspects, the controls are extremely fluent. And the run and jump controls are really fluent. Even here, even with a slight slowdown caused by recording. But call it crazy, yes, I think the speed of our recording is actually improving the game. And as for the music is no, before I get the music, finish the graphics. I like the checkerboard, the endless checkerboard. It's really nice. Yeah, let's go. Jump over the pit. Good, not falling any this time. Ah! Ah! Go to hell! Yeah, like many NES games, this game is extremely frustrating. And like just about... Whoa, where do you come from? One more life. And just like... Anyways, just about every other NES game, you have about 3 lives in this game. No more, no less. Okay, you easily get less lives, but I don't think you can get more. Yeah, jump over a pit, avoid the fire, avoid those green circle things and the fireballs. While they're smiling at you evilly. Like Evil Otto and Berserk. Yeah, if you have an NES, I'd recommend searching for this game. It's not very expensive, and you can probably find it really cheap. And I don't know if it's ever been released on any other consoles. If it has, please let me know. If not, oh well. Yeah, that's why a lot of these older games should be released in newer forms. I mean, there's a lot of games that a lot of these older companies have that they should really, from their older consoles and even the old arcade games that should be released in modern form. For example, there are several things I wish Nintendo would release on modern consoles. Especially from their arcade games! What a perfect place to end this review. Anyway, this is 3D WorldRunner by Square for NES. I'd highly recommend it. Final score, 8.8 out of 10. This game is awesome. Well, until next time, everyone.